Hello everyone, this is Joel Davis with the United Medical Transportation Providers Group. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. As always, I hope you watch the entire video as we have a very important topic to discuss, and then I'm going to throw in a couple other little various nuggets to hit some key topics that I'm sure you'll find useful. So the topic we're going to be discussing is a very important topic. It's one that I've discussed several times in multiple videos, in my ebooks, and the DVDs. In fact, the bootcamp seminar is geared towards this topic. It is the topic of Medicaid brokers and in their infinite wisdom. Why am I sharing this video? It's important because I'm working with a number of people right now, and they continue to fall into the trap of believing that Medicaid brokers are their friends. I can assure you, Medicaid brokers, they may be friendly, you can be friendly with them, but they are not your friend. At the end of the day, they care about their bottom line, their business, not yours. They get bonuses. If they meet their target numbers, these representatives from brokers get bonuses. So again, I would never encourage you to be mean or disrespectful to anybody, but at the end of the day, they're not your friend. I always use the analogy of the pet alligator. Hey, that's a cool exotic animal if you like that type of thing, but guess what? You're not going to play with it like a dog. You're not going to walk it like a dog. You're not going to pet it like a dog. If you do, you're going to get bit. So I had Dan dig up an email from one of our UMTPG members that from a few months ago. So I want to share this email with you because this just underscores the logic of Medicaid brokers and what they'll do. Again, this is from a few months ago, but it's very, very poignant. To set the stage, this transportation provider, great guy, UMTPG member, he operates in 4 different states, has a very good business, very smart business owner. In one of the states that he operates in, it's a very large state. They don't allow NEMT providers to do stretcher transport, so you have to be a minimum of BLS. So he was actually, in an effort to expand his business, he was willing to go out there and invest several hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase brand new BLS vehicles to help meet this demand, because this broker, MTM, approached him and said, hey, we'll give you this contract. You'll have all these stretcher transports in all these counties. So long story short, we went back and forth, the provider and me. We talked about different scenarios and situations, and certain red flags kept going up. It just didn't smell right. And I told him, I said, look, we need to be asking these questions. Boom, 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 boom. So he's doing his research, doing his due diligence, being a good, prudent business owner. He could come to find out, again, he was going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go out there and get brand new vehicles to get this contract, only to discover that in a matter of months, MTM was going to lose this contract. So he goes out, invests all these vehicles to get this BLS, to get this stretcher contract from MTM, and then they lose the contract. And MTM never discloses up front to him. They entered these negotiations. MTM didn't disclose it. Again, so many things were popping off, red flags. It didn't smell right. If he didn't do his due diligence, if he didn't understand who he is negotiating with, he would have gone out there, spent these hundreds of thousands of dollars in these new vehicles, built and expanded his infrastructure and his business model. And at the end of the day, who's to say when the new broker came in, he was going to get that same contract? Or if he got the same contract, who's to say that that new broker knows that he just invested all that money, has new vehicles, that he's not going to take a chance, that they're going to therefore use that as leverage against him and give him reduced rates of reimbursement? But that's what a broker will do. So again, I had Dan dig up this email from a couple months ago from this specific transportation provider. He writes, I have used the traditional broker, MTM, AMR, to generate income and allow me to grow in the industry both financially as well as in knowledge. Well, Joel, it's time for the bird to fly from the nest. I need to begin to move from the confines of the broker and establish my own destiny, as you stated in your report. I cannot step over a dollar to pick up a dime. Consequently, I must continue to weather MTM until I start on my road to success as an independent provider, etc. I have read your new opportunity for additional revenue. Very informative. I'm the kind of guy that will read something several times and receive different revelations each time. Your writing has really cultivated my thinking in this industry, Joel. I love the way you describe current providers as hiding behind the desk of complacency. I must admit, brother, I too was caught in this vicious cycle. Every now and then you need a swift kick in the rear to motivate you to change, not to remain stagnant. Joel, I have outlined your 30-page report. We'll digest it section by section in order to apply the concepts to my existing business. Below is the contact data of a caller who guaranteed me access to government RFQs, etc. He said it would take about 9 months to completely get our company engaged. Same old BS, I'm sure, but I wanted to run the concept by you to see if you have ever heard of this company before and how you felt about such an endeavor. I lost $4,000 in 2012 to a similar agency professing to take me to the pot of gold at the end of the government rainbow. I have already created a cage code with the government. I just have not finished registering with the SAMs yet. Is there a way I can pursue RFQs without the vulture circling me for money for their service? In the meantime, I am currently taking nuggets from your report and setting up my existing company to head in the direction you suggested. Excellent idea of soliciting local companies and helping them solve their transportation issues. Please share with me your thoughts and insight on to find the RFQs without getting hustled. I don't mind paying for insight, but it must have merit. There are too many crooks out there preying on ignorance and inquiring minds like mine. Well, great email for a number of reasons. Number one, he acknowledged what he was dealing with MTM. Again, I work with a lot of providers that make very good money with brokers. I have some that don't make very much money because they don't have very good deals. I have some that 100% built their house on sand and they've aligned themselves with brokers. If the brokers change their business model or make a decision that's adverse to your business, guess what? Your business model 100% just changed. This transportation provider had to learn it the hard way. But he's going to rebound. He's doing well. He's going to be in a great situation. So next topic, he's very smart. Talking about these agencies that will come after you and promise you government contracts. They are a dime a dozen. There are literally 1,000 of them across the U.S., if not more. And again, they're going to ask you to pay $4,000, $5,000. I've seen some that charge upwards of $10,000 and $20,000, and they guarantee you that they're going to go out there and research and get you contracts. Again, they're on every street corner. So many of those they're a dime a dozen. They're a big hustle. You need to have the buyers beware mentality when you approach those agencies. So much of when it comes to researching contracts, government contracts, much of it you could do on your own. You do not need these agencies. I love the fact that he mentions in here, hey, he was a victim of the hiding behind the desk and falling into the level of complacency. You can't afford to do that. The economy's changing. The industry's changing. There's a great opportunity out there, but again, I've been saying this for a number of years now. You cannot do business now the way you did 5 and 10 years ago. Industry's changed. The economy has definitely changed. I recently put out that video regarding the minimum wage. People are talking in many places they want to raise minimum wage to $15. Out in California, they want to raise it to $19 an hour. That is going to devastate so many businesses, so many industries. It's sickening. But again, if you haven't seen that video, go back and check that one out. So you need to be very cognizant of these changes, how it affects your business, and adjust your business model and your pricing accordingly. The good news is this: it doesn't matter what happens in the economy. Elderly populations continue to grow, exponentially multiply, as is the medical industry. People have to go to their appointments. Another quick topic, and I jotted down a couple things because we just get flooded by emails every day. If you're new to the industry and you're starting your business, do not make the mistake of building your business around ambulatory vehicles. If you do, number one, you can pay higher insurance premiums because underwriters and insurance agents are going to identify you as a taxi service, and your insurance could go up dramatically and put you in a high risk, whether you have experience or not. You need your first 3, 4, 5 vehicles should always be as a minimum wheelchair-based vehicles. You need to have a good, strong nucleus within your fleet nucleus of vehicles as you build and grow your fleet. You need wheelchair accessible vehicles. You got higher profit margin, and your rates of insurance could actually be reduced. Another quick one. This has come up a couple times because Dan's been talking to a lot of people on the phone, and I actually have been talking to a couple of prospects regarding some projects, and they typically will ask something like, well, what separates my material, my information from other people? Great question. Great question. I'm sure a lot of people have that concern. Here's what I would say. Number one, mine's the best. It was the first. I continue to update it all the time. You could say, Joel, that's cocky. Yep, it is. Guess what? I am actively involved in the industry. Let me give you a quick analogy. not too long ago, a couple months back, I had back surgery. And my wife, ironically enough, is a doctor and a surgeon. So what did she do? She did her due diligence, an excellent job to research and find me the absolute best doctor. Why? You're playing with your back, you're playing with your spine. I had surgery early in the morning. I was literally walking out of the hospital by 1 p.m. that same day. Even the nurses there marveled at how quickly I got out. It's easy to say that, hey, it was good luck, good fortune. No, that was God blessing me, number one. And number two, giving me a great doctor. Here's what's key about that. My wife researched the best possible doctor. Not only to do the surgery, but to make sure he went through the entire process of meeting me for my appointments, doing the actual surgery, and then the follow-up. What happens so often, here's what her fear was. So many doctors, when you go and you have a surgery, it depends on where you go and what type of surgery you have. It's not the actual surgeon performing the surgery, rather it's residents. So you have younger doctors in training, residents, actually performing your surgery. Now, when it comes to your back, it comes to your spine, do you really want a resident, or do you want the best of the best performing your surgery? You want the best of the best. So I understand there's a lot of free stuff online. There's a lot of people, I know there's people who've taken my material, they try to regurgitate it and copy and paste it and put it out there for nickel and dime sales. Look, if that's what you want to follow, that brother-in-law, the free advice, take it. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But at the end of the day, would you rather listen to my advice, someone who's in the business, who continues to work with all these providers around the country? I've negotiated some outstanding contracts, some big contracts, and I continue to. Would you rather listen to my material or someone else's? So again, I know some of you are saying, Joel, you're just a cocky ball guy. Why do you say that? Well, the proof is in the pudding. So at the end of the day, if you want to listen to my advice or someone else, at the end of the day, the choice is yours. So what's the benefit of my material? Because it's good. That's why. Another thing is, some of you have noticed, a lot of people have sent emails about the NEMT business and expanding and diversifying into home care and things like that. Kind of play off of the topic I just discussed. For some of you who've been following my newsletters and my material for a long time, you'll notice we've started to really transition from just NEMT to really wealth building. How do you build money? Let transportation be one single component, one leg of your portfolio. There are so many ways to make money in transportation and then in conjunction with transportation. So build multiple streams of income within NEMT, but then use NEMT as only one leg to build wealth, create wealth within your portfolio. There are so many ways to make money. So many of you who've been following me for so long, you'll know now we've really started to transition into how do we make bigger money. That's why I'm always stressing, think macro, not micro. How do we grow our business? Start with a controlled growth strategy and work to build infrastructure, systems, policies, and procedures. Go from the front side of the desk to the back side of the desk to really build a business that has multiple sources of income. You're not going to be building a house on sand 100% based on brokers. Because again, like we talked about with this very first transportation provider, if you're 100% broker, they make one slight movement in their business model, their decision making, your business model absolutely was just influenced. Can you make money with brokers? Yes. But there's so many other ways to make money in NEMT. And then once you have a successful NEMT business, how do you leverage that to build and grow and make it even more successful? So again, I want to thank you all for taking time to watch this video. I know it's been long. I encourage you, go back, watch some of the other videos. If you haven't yet studied my material, please, please, please study the material. Joel, you're bagging for people to buy your stuff. Hey, if you don't want to be successful in it, you don't want to study the best material out there regarding this industry, by all means. I don't need to bag. I'm not a salesman. But I see too many people making elementary mistakes that are easily avoidable. But here's the thing. The industry is changing. The economy is changing. You need to invest in your education. If you take away anything from this, number one, invest in your education, which leads to point number two. If you're going to build your business from the very beginning, build it the right way. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. This is Joel Davis with UMTPG, and always, I'll see you at the top.